Again, you are more than welcome to come and give words of expression. This is the wake period, but we've also opened that up for words of expression. The homegoing service will start at 11 a.m.
Hello, everybody. I just want to let y'all know that Mike was my dearest son-in-law. He loved me, and I truly love him. And when I went to see him on Sunday, he told me, he said, Mama, I want you to get you some hearing aid. And I told him, I said, Mike, I'm going to get me some. So you make sure now you get you some hearing aid. And you don't have to get them for your birthday, but you can get them later on. So I loved him, my son-in-law, and he truly loved me. That's all I have to say.
Hello, everyone. My name is Candace. And I just wanted to say, Mike was such a blessing to me. He gave me so many gifts in the short time that I cared for him. And I wanted to reaffirm what his little sister said, even though I know you're not. It is because of his mother and father, who Michael Matthews became and was. You gifted him love, patience, kindness. He was a humble man, and it was because of his mom and dad. I know that, and I thank you. Thank you for giving him to me for the 7 years that I had with him. I, too, had a job, and it was to get your son to his appointments, not only on time, but early. We had to be there early. Mr. Matthews, there was sometimes I couldn't make it, and all the many people, all the helping hands would fill in. Patsy, sometimes Diane, she would have to take off. Mike didn't like that when they had to take him to his appointments. He said, Candace. I said, well, why don't you like it, Mike? And he said, because we just keep making U-turns around and around and around. He said, and they just can't seem to find the address. He said, Candace, you know where we're going and you know where we need to be, and it's just better with you here. So I wanted to tell everybody there was times Diane and I would be so tired, and it would be so much. And all of you would just show up like angels, each and every one of you. And you guys all know who you are. You're angels. I say it's God's troops. We're all God's troops. And we're here on earth to help each other. And when I would feel at my weakest, here comes you and you and you and you and you to just lift us up and take the load. And I would go rest. Diane would go rest. Thank you. It takes all of us, every one of us, to be here guiding each other, loving each other. And like I said, Mr. Matthews was such a gift. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Deacon Chris Wilson, and I am the chairman of the Deacon Board at Messiah Missionary Baptist Church in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Y'all call him Miracle Mike, but before we got sick, we called him Big Mike. we would call him Big Mike. And Big Mike was truly a friend. Mike, when he came to Grand Rapids, Mike came with a letter. Mike was always decent and in order. And one of our deacons said, well, I never seen that before. And Mike came in working right away. Right away. And he was, forgive me, but to be absent from the body is present with the Lord. And I'm happy for Mike. Mike fought a good fight. He kept his faith. No matter what was going through, he always kept it, and he always kept a positive mind. We are talking, he's like, I'm all right, how you doing? I'm good. And so this last time he had called, I was like, hey, I got a little issue going on, a little infection in my blood. And they got, the doctors say they only got one thing they can do. And if that don't work, then I said, well, Mike, we're going to believe in Dr. Jesus. He said, that's right, we're going to keep the faith. That's right. And I always admired from Mike, it was never a bad day, and he never blamed anything for what happened. And I just want to praise God through his faith and through his work, that he kept his faith, he finished his course, and now laid upon him is a crown, a reward up in heaven. And Diane, just God bless you, and Megan, that was a great man, a man of faith, a man of God, and he always kept it for those that don't know the Lord. That was an example of how to be a Christian no matter what you're going through, because we all go through something in life. And sometimes we turn away from God. But Mike always turned to him, and he kept believing, and God strengthened him. And I just say thank you for letting me have this time. Diane, thank you for sharing Mike with us. The Messiah Church family in Grand Rapids, I told you I got plenty of hugs for you that I got to give out. One special one for my wife, Lisa. She said, give hers first, and I'll make sure I do that, but God bless you.
Let me say to the Matthew family, certainly our condolences are with you. We have learned over the years to love Mike and Diane in a very, very special way. And even when his eyesight began to deteriorate, when I would come around, he could say, this Reverend Petty, I know his voice. And he was just a kind, generous, personable, loving person, and his wife, Diane, and of course her mother, Sister Harris. We've known them for a number of years, and we just couldn't miss this opportunity to come and share with the family and let you know how much we love Mike, but God loved him even more. I was torn between a Twix today because one of my deacon's wife and former choir director, Cleona Collins, her funeral is at the same time, and they have been members of our church from the 80s, and then they've gone on to become members of Unity. But I wanted Clem to know that we loved him as well. When my wife died in 1995, Clem was there, supported me, and moved in with me. And when we buried her in Arkansas, Clem went. And then when the Lord blessed me with another wife, he went to Louisiana to make sure that we got hooked up right. And so, but I wanted to come by and let Diane know how much we love her and the Matthews family. And our prayers shall continue to be with the family. I just want to thank Pastor Moses for giving us this opportunity at this point in time to just share with this family. So God bless you, and God keep you, and may God's grace continue to shine upon you.
Good morning. I struggle to come up. I'm not great at standing in front of a lot of people and speaking. I met Mike and Diane many years back at Old Calvary. And Stacy and I had been invited to come. And to be quite honest, as I walked in, I felt out of place. I wasn't really sure how things were going to go, how welcomed I was going to be. And that first day, Mike and Diane came up to Stacy and I and welcomed us. And I don't know if you even remember that, but I thought, wow, these people are super nice. And from that day until now, they embraced Stacy and I. Mike took Stacy under his wing, and he has a hard time coming up and speaking. I asked him if he was, and he said, no, I can't do that. So I said, well, I'll do it for you. But Mike took Stacy under his arm, and really, I believe, led Stacy to God and helped him to become the man that he needed to be. He was right next to Stacy as he went through his deacon training, and was really the best friend that Stacy could have ever asked for. And Diane was the best friend for me that I could have asked for from a sister to support me as Stacy's wife and as a member of Calvary. There were many times that I went through some turmoil, and Diane was always there for me. And we love you, Diane. And we will sorely miss Mike, but we know that he is in a better place, that he is with family and friends who are there waiting for him, and he'll be there waiting for you. And we love you, and just thank you for this opportunity, and we'll continue to keep you and Megan and your family in our prayers.
My family's known me as a talker.
my wife couldn't believe I didn't have anything to say. Sometimes it's good to listen. And I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the love, the kindness, and the appreciation that you expressed for my nephew. The Bible says joy comes in the morning. But listening to your loving kindness words in our grief, we have found moments of joy. And from the bottom, and to gaze out at my sister-in-law, from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to say thank you for your demonstration and expressions of loving kindness.
Good morning. We're the Thorntons. I'm Bessie, and this is Kenneth. I first met Mike when he relocated here back long time ago at Old Calvary. Him and the boys, I call him. And he had this bubbly personality that you just had to just wrap your arms around him and stuff. Beautiful person. Then he met this lovely lady over here, Miss Diane. And that was, I won't say the beginning of the end, but the beginning of the beginning. They were such a lovely couple, and then when they relocated to Texas, it was a big void in Calvary, missing Michael and Megan and Diane. He loved Megan to death. Not to death, but to life. He spoiled her rotten. And this was his little piece of eye candy, I would say. And that's his big piece of candy right there. But Mike was a gentle giant. And when he became ill, it was a big cloud that came over our church family. But we prayed and God delivered him. And he came back, not the same, but different. But he was still Mike. And Miss Diane, she didn't play when it came to her husband. She had a ledger of his medical records. And I want to applaud you, Diane. You are my shero. And I pray that God will continue to lift you up higher and comfort you during this difficult time. Know that your church family is here for you, and your sisters are here for you, because you are my sister, and I am yours. And I love you very much. And our deepest sympathies and condolences go out to the entire family. God bless you and keep you during this difficult time.
Good morning. My name is Mary Daniels, and the reason that I came up is because I got to know Mike personally on the prayer line. We started the prayer line, I think it was 2019, and it's hard for me to talk. Mike, myself, and Robert Daniels were the main key people on the prayer line that did not miss the 3 days of the week that we came on. And then life has it as to whereas we lost Bob, you know, and that was a big blow to me personally because we went to college together before we were married, you know. And then there came Mike, and he was always diligent. And when he could be on the prayer line, he was on the prayer line. And I got a chance to go and visit him a few times when he was in treatment or in recovery. But he was my buddy because he could always do it. He knew how to navigate and maneuver the system as to whereas he could talk online and just still be a part of life. I'll miss him. I'll miss him very much. And I also wanted to stand because I needed to meet Bev. I haven't met her yet, but to meet the rest of the family and to let you know that Diane and Mike were warriors together. And we will pray with Diane and take her through the things that she has to go through in life. And to the entire family, Mike was my prayer hero. He never gave up. He never stopped. Whenever he came out of recovery, he came right back to the prayer line. Thank you.
Good morning. At this time, if the family feels so led, we do have 2 hospitality rooms for you. If you'd like to refresh yourselves, have some water, have a light refreshment, at this time we would ask the family to please follow Deaconess Williams, who will be standing at the back, and Deaconess Dee Painter and myself. You are also welcome to stay, so just make yourselves at home. We're here for the family.